We're looking at fouls now as defensive breakdowns. That's the same thing as allowing a blow by. We're missing a defensive block out or not being in help position when somebody gets beat on a drive. So I think that's my biggest concern is, it was a good win, but that's all it was a win. We've got to get a lot better defensively. Nura, his middle name right now is Hack, because that's what he does. He fouls. There's a difference in being physical and being smart. Breon Brady, I don't know if his nickname is Full Nelson or Half Nelson, but there's a Nelson in there somewhere. He's got to stop fouling. Our guards are getting a little bit better at it, but I think we can get better defensively if we can keep the other team off the free throw line. We're improving our free throw shooting, but we got to improve defensively. It's making better decisions with our physicality. Everybody in our team has a role. One of the areas we felt like we could be effective for that last game was in our push game, our fast break. Everybody talked to us about, Arkansas runs. Well, we run a little bit too, but the key to our running game is Galen. His ability to get the ball from one end to the other. We have two rules. We try to score as many baskets as we can with 4 seconds or less. That's why we move the ball up the floor with the pass a lot. When we move it up with the dribble, the ball has to cross half court in 3 seconds or less. So everything we do revolves around pace. That's why we try to get between 70 and 77 possessions per game. If we can utilize pace and offensive rebounds to get more shot attempts than the other team, then that gives us a better chance to win. And that's why Galen's ability to push the ball, Corey and Wes, Armani, Rob's ability to run to the corners to space the floor for our middle man who rim runs. And then now, as he gets to the rim, he's got space. A lot of teams will start slowing down at the free throw line with their wings. The problem with that is your defensive players there too, and there's nowhere to go. So we run our wings to the corners, and it gives Galen the room to get to the rim, and from there he has to make the right play, and usually that's with the pass. Well, I hope they open the concession stand early, because I know what it's like with having that many kids. It's important that the popcorn, snow cones would be really good. But I hope the teachers have educated them on the importance of squealing, not screaming, squealing, because that's what they're going to sound like. High-pitched squeals, which will be good at 11 o'clock in the morning. That might put a jolt in our guys. But if I were a school kid and I got this opportunity, I would think this was the greatest thing ever. I think it's a great idea on our part. Our kids are in final exams. We play this game at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night. It'd be tough for us to get a lot of our students here, and I understand that. So I applaud our athletic department for coming up with this idea. Who knows? There may be, a future Cougar basketball player, maybe a future Cougar Bauer School of Business student or an engineering student. Somebody comes on this campus and finds something they like, sees the Cougars out there playing basketball, and may motivate a kid to go practice a little more. You never know. Well-coached team. Their coach was used to be on Princeton's staff for a long time. As a matter of fact, when Princeton upset UCLA in the NCAA tournament in 1995, I think it was, their best player was Sidney Johnson, who's the head coach for Fairfield. Very smart team. They run a lot of sets, very organized. Their best players are two guard who can shift to the one. The Nelson kid, really good shooter. The point guard is a Houston kid, Segura, played out at North Shore. They got 4, 5, 6, 8, 6, 9 kids. They're all active on the boards. Very disciplined team, well-coached team. They remind me a little bit of New Orleans. Maybe not as athletic as New Orleans, but they play that hard and that physical. And we struggle with New Orleans some. So we're going to have to come to play. You don't take anything for granted. The worst thing you can do this time of year is live off your last game. People say, well, you guys played great, you're great. No, well, we were that night. A lot of people thought we were bad against New Orleans, that you're no good, you're not going to win any games because you're bad against New Orleans. That's not true, and it's not true against Arkansas either. Each game is an entity unto itself. So we're going to have to get our mindset ready, get ready to play, and this time of year it's important to take steps forward. So we certainly don't want to take a step backwards.